good organizations run on systems or are systems and processes dependent. Bad organizations are people dependent. Not that people are not important, they are. Let me give an example. So a while back when I was in the corporate world, I was responsible partly for hiring some people into my team. And they had excelled in other companies, so they were known. But I was being told, this is obvious, it's easy, just let's hire them. But they come with experiences that you don't need. They're not too much of experiences you don't want in the organization, what we are talking about. And at the beginning of when I got employed there, I had the latitude to actually reorganize that department, including putting the processes that we thought were going to take us where we are going. One of which was everybody working in that department had to take an aptitude test. And what then happened was these very experienced people came and they took that aptitude test. And they failed spectacularly. And you know, these are people who the CEO had brought, different people had brought, you know. They're trying to help you in a job they've given you. You know, why have a dog and bark at the same time? So I'm there working, but they're also trying to. So I took the results to them and I told them, here, everybody else who is working here has gone through this. So one of the things that is crucial for people to avoid pressure is to ensure that the systems work. And then the other thing is, you can have systems, but we also say, if you don't inspect, do not expect. If you don't inspect, do not. So, in my consulting job, this is another example that just fits in. I have this client. They had an issue, they had a problem, they had set up, and it's always a problem that happens at that point. The moment things start going wrong in a company, it means you're growing, because now the people who've set it up are getting impatient. They want to now sort of reward themselves with a day off and all that. They've hired other people. But when it was them, they had the integrity. But everything and the systems they had were organic. They are carried in their head. They are not anywhere on paper and things like that. So I came and I said, let's put your systems and processes in place. We documented them. So we did processes mapping, sorted everything out. Everything worked. Put the job descriptions arising from that. You know the processes that normally happen after that. Everything was perfect. Then, here is what happens. I say to them, if you don't inspect, do not
expect.
So they said, we have a budget for an auditor who will be our internal auditor and also systems auditor and all that. And they'd even agreed on how this person will be working in the departments, just making sure things are working. And you know, like those who've worked in banks, if you fail to audit, kazi inaisha. So these guys were also going to do similar thing for a different organization. They were in different industry. Then, sensing the heat, the person in charge of finance resigns because he knows now here I'll be caught up with. They had been playing with manipulating figures. So they went. And these guys decide, wacha huyu auditor atushikilie for the time being where? In finance. 2 years down the road, they'd never filled the position of. So the person had been interviewed and passed an interview for audit. But they've come in and they have been bandiquad there to become the what?
Finance.
So you've got systems, you've got processes, nobody's inspecting. The one who's meant to be doing it is doing something different. And then that person came and connived with other people to start diverting clients from this company to a company they have set on the side. Because they did not So you can have systems, but if you don't inspect, there is no point of having them. But remember again, the best companies, the best organizations are what? System dependent, not people dependent. You can replace, it's just like McDonald's. You go in, they show you what to do. Somebody moves away, they bring the next person, they take them through the orientation, and that person begins to perform at the same level as that other person who's left. Because they're not dependent on the person, they're dependent on. So for you to reduce your pressure, systems. And then just make sure the people who are supposed to inspect your systems are also active. You know, God is a God of order. God loves law. Systems and processes are part of law, isn't it? So, and we are created in His image. So don't go and leave. Just make sure the systems are, and just make sure that somebody is doing what?
Inspecting.
Yes, thank you.